Right, it is Saturday, the 5th of November, and we've had a couple of strong winds the last few days, and yeah, started tearing up the elephant ears. All these are specifically Colocasia escalente, which were in my bog filter. Just literally placed in a gravel filter for the pond in their pots. So yeah, just a pot I started off in the beginning of the year, and literally just sort of half buried the pot in the gravel, and obviously the roots go straight out into the gravel and take up all them nutrients from the pond water. So it does a good job of cleaning the pond and keeping that healthy for the fish, but it also does a good job of growing decent sized plants. But like I say, the winds have come and we're getting cooler nights now. They had a couple of nights down to 4 degrees Celsius, so not far off the freezing point, and they probably would have stayed out for another couple of weeks if it weren't for the fact of the wind, and they just start to look a bit messy. So the time has come to chop these up and just save the bulbs, or corms as it were. Yeah, the leaves are not a bad size. You know, some of them are done quite well. Let's have a look, see, we've got some big ones here. Yeah, so good couple of feet, so they ain't done too bad. It's been a warm year. So let's see what's going on in the pot. Well, this one you can see has actually split the pot because that's just what to grow so much. So what I'm going to do is, obviously I've done videos on this before, and there's a million other videos about dry storing Colocasia, so I'm not going to go into the details. Needless to say, I'm just going to wash off the muck, cut all the foliage off, cut all the roots off, just left with that sort of corm, and just dry store that and keep that for next year. As long as they're dry and kept at a sort of room temperature in a dark cupboard, they'll be fine. Yeah, so that is that. So these were the last few. I already took the Black Magics and Diamond Head and the more fancier Colocasias out a couple of weeks ago, because I'm trying to overwinter them in their pots, as it were. So that's a different storage process for them, because they don't dry store well. So every year I do a little experiment and see which works best for these more fussy types. But yeah, the Colocasia escalente, no problem whatsoever. And there's some pretty big corms in here. Obviously we've got a lot of little ones sort of developing around the edges, and to be fair, even the smaller ones I've always managed to dry store without a problem. Obviously when you get to a certain size, I mean, if you've got one like this specifically, where you've got a big corm and a couple of little ones, I'd leave the little ones on the big one. Don't be tempted to snap them off, and overwinter them as they are, and then in the spring when you start them off and these do start growing the little side bulbs, as it were, we can snap them off and put them up separate. Yeah, so it's always a bit of a shame, sort of the last of the sort of tropical foliage getting chopped down, but it is that time of year. So yeah, we'll enjoy them next year. So yeah, just a quick one on the Colocasias. They've done okay. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.